Hi, I'm Shelley Wood. You might know me from shelleywood.com. This is my tiny sewing room where I make doll clothes sewing videos. Today I'm going to show you how to make a skirt with rickrack and lace trim to fit 13 to 17 inch dolls, including Wellie Wishers. There's a list of dolls that will fit in this skirt on my website, shelleywood.com. Please go there right now to download this free printable PDF sewing pattern. It's a two-part pattern. Use the pattern to cut out a long strip of fabric. Hem the bottom of the skirt by folding once and then a second time. Then sew along the edge to create a hem. Here I am folding and then sewing. You could also stitch this hem by hand. Now your skirt will look like this. It's a good idea to use a matching thread for your hem. Of course, we're going to use rickrack, so you'd want it to match the rickrack. Create a casing on the long edge opposite of the hemmed edge. Fold the fabric once and then again, but your second fold is going to be deeper. And if you need help with the casing, I have a tutorial on that. But here's how it would look. So you fold it like you would a hem, and then you fold a little deeper. So maybe a centimeter wide. Sew along the bottom edge of the casing. That's what you see me doing here. Attach rickrack along the hem on the right side of the fabric, in other words, the pretty side of the fabric. Now my rickrack is a 1/2 inch or 12.7 millimeters wide. You could use a smaller or a bigger rickrack, but it does change the overall appearance of your skirt. I like to cut my rickrack a little longer than I need it. Lay it over the hem on the fabric's right side, again that's the pretty side, and then sew it on following the hem's stitching. And that's what you see me doing here. I'm trying to line the rickrack up with the hem. Trim off any extra rickrack. I've always got a bin full of lace like you see here, and I found a white lace that matched the fabric, and I made sure that I had enough to fit along the edge of that hem. Of course, a longer swatch of lace will give it a different look, and a shorter piece of lace or eyelet might too. Here's a colored fringe that I actually thought about using because it goes with it nicely, but eventually I chose this 1.5 inch wide lace. Pin your lace along the hem's edge. You'll see I like to use a little extra there too. So I'm pinning it along the edge of the hem. And again, leave that extra lace hanging off the edge. I remove my straight pins as I sew the lace in place along that hem. Now you might wonder why all the extra on the edge. I've found with doll clothes, since they're so small, that it's good to have a little bit more than what you need because it can be kind of bunchy. And now you're going to trim off that extra lace. Measure and cut elastic to fit your doll's waist. I think I used a 1/4 inch elastic for mine. Attach a safety pin to one end of the elastic and send your elastic through the casing. You'll need a straight pin on each side to hold that elastic in place. Make sure it penetrates the elastic all the way through. So here I am attaching my safety pin, and then I just push the safety pin through, pulling the lace along behind it, and then use straight pins to hold the elastic in place and take the safety pin out. Fold your skirt in half like this. You want to keep your right sides together. Again, that means the pretty side touches the pretty side of the fabric. So I'm bringing those two straight pins together, aligning the edges of that's sort of the raw fabric, and then stitch from the waist at the top of the garment down the whole raw fabric. It's best to stitch over your elastic like at least 2 or 3 times, and then you just finish sewing along the raw edge of the fabric, and end your stitches at the hem because you'll want to do something with the lace a little later. Okay, so I'm going back and forth over my elastic. Once you reach that hem, remove the pins from the elastic's edge. I like to use a needle and white thread for lace. I think it just looks prettier. But you could use a sewing machine too if you're in a rush. Now your skirt should look like this. Invert the skirt. That means turn it right side out, of course. And that's what I'm doing here. You might want to, tug on the elastic a couple times to even it out. And now you're ready to try it on your doll. For more free printable sewing patterns to fit dolls of many shapes and all different sizes, please remember to visit my website, shelleywood.com. Well, that's all I have for you today. Thanks for watching. If you like my videos and free patterns, please share them on your favorite social media platforms. It really helps my website grow if you spread the word. Goodbye.